Welcome to the Masturdebators podcast. I am your host, Jayo Staxx.
I'm Enjay.
And this is Captain Sherrard.
Hey.
Just remember for Facebook, you got to beep that out. The clap.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, they gave us the business. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's and I'm pretty sure because it's right out the gate.
They're censoring our free speech.
Right.
You know, I tried to watch a video on Facebook today, and there was like 4 ads in it, and the video was only like 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's
bad.
Actually, it's pretty annoying, actually.
And they're at really random times. I feel like YouTube kind of picks good times to put the ads, or I don't know if that's left up to the creators, but the Facebook ads just seem like they're thrown in like at 45 or 40-second intervals or something.
Right.
It's crazy. I don't know. Like you'll be in the action of a video, and then
So basically, what you're thinking is at this point, there's gonna be a new platform coming because people are starting to get annoyed with it.
Yep. It's too much, man. Like I don't need to be be sold a Subway sandwich while I'm trying to watch a video of like people smoking weed with their parents.
Yeah.
That's what I was watching earlier today. I shared it on my Facebook, but it was like a video of people smoking weed with their parents. And to watch through it, I got a Subway ad, I got a Jack Daniels ad. Oh, fuck, I can't remember what the other two were. I wasn't paying attention. I was too annoyed.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it's got you down pretty well that it knows, like, he's probably going to want some Subway right away.
No,
here.
But you know what? It makes me not want Subway now.
No way.
It makes me like annoyed. Like I see it and I'm like, fuck Subway for like interrupting my video.
But at the same time, as I said, the marketing behind it is if you're watching a guy smoke weed with his family, chances are you want to eat a Subway sub.
Well, I understand
chance.
that. They got my demographic down pat. I can't deny that.
There's no arguments with that part of it. Like, the marketing is sound, for sure.
Yeah,
But, the principle behind it.
Yeah, and I've been getting hella ads for Jay-Z's 444. I don't know if everybody is, but have you listened to that yet, Cap?
I've been putting it off in a sense. I've heard a bit of mixed things about it, and especially that, like, I see there's a platinum label on it now, and I think that's kind of a weird marketing thing to be pulling right now, personally.
Oh, I don't give a shit about. I don't care how many records Jay-Z sells. All I care about is that the music is insane, and No ID, who produced every beat on that album, produced his fucking ass off, and those are the hardest beats I've heard all year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll say this
Better
for
than
the
that
album.
Brockhampton, whatever?
Yeah.
I only dabbled in the album.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of listened to a couple songs, but
Yeah.
hands off to Jay-Z.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
A million, and he said twins with Beyonce.
Yeah.
Like, give it to the man.
Yeah.
That's goals right there.
Yeah, I mean, and the album itself is like, it's incredible. I've never heard Jay-Z get so vulnerable.
Yeah.
Because, when I was growing up in the early 2000s, like Rockefeller was at his peak. And, I looked at Jay-Z like Superman. You couldn't tell me Jay-Z wasn't the greatest rapper in the world. That was the man,
Oh, and that's when Rockaware was popping, too.
Oh, man, he was everything. He was everywhere. And that's when Beyonce and him were first started, like, Crazy in Love. That song was huge, man. Like,
huge.
I just remember Jay-Z being, like, Superman for real. And then hearing him get this vulnerable on this album, it was like seeing your dad cry for the first time.
Wow.
Like, it was, like, fucking weird, man. Like it was seeing a guy that the strongest man, like someone you've looked up to your whole life in terms of like money and the girl he's with and the raps he's able to write and just like everything that man does, I want to be able to do. But then for him to peel back the layers and talk about, like, release a whole song going into detail about how he cheated on Beyonce and, like, basically crying in the song, like, that is crazy.
So my question to you guys is, do you think this is actual, like, legit? Is that, did he actually cheat, or was it them orchestrating this? Because they are kind of geniuses.
I don't believe that it was fake. Did you hear the actual, like, song 444 yet?
Yeah. No, I haven't. I don't think I have.
Have you?
I think when you're that rich, maybe you just make stupid decisions, like,
right.
I don't know, cheating on one of the world's most hottest women.
He
Is that a
went
thing?
like some of the things he said is like he was basically crying, and he said like he was talking basically in his lyrics to Beyonce and saying like, I never wanted another woman to know something about me you didn't know. And like that's
what?
crazy. That's like,
I'm so intrigued now because just how you described it, it's like seeing your dad cry for the first time.
dude, for real.
I'm definitely gonna check it out like ASAP.
Yeah.
You know, this sounds
It would be
emotional.
like watching Batman. Like it'd be like, yeah, if they were just like, oh yeah, Batman's done. Like Batman is gonna retire, and then like in the next Batman movie, he just like gives up being Batman, and then there's never any more Batman movies. That's what it'd be like.
Kind of like Logan.
Yes. This Jay-Z album was his Logan. That's exactly what it was.
Wow.
It was Old Man Jay-Z album where he got into it, and then
he went out swinging.
at the end he dies. Actually, at the beginning he dies because literally the first song is called Kill Jay-Z.
Yeah.
But that's therapy. The whole song is him breaking down himself and talking about how he's not Jay-Z anymore. He's Jay-Z in all caps again, like he was in the 90s. Because he took away the capital letters and the hyphen in the 2000s. But now he's back to all caps with the hyphen, Jay-Z.
The crazy thing is how that's like an actual headline. Like just, he changed his name. He changed his font.
When you're royalty,
Yeah.
hell yeah. Everything you do.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't
People need
seen
to know about-
this sort of audacity since Panic at the Disco lost the exclamation point and then put it back on.
But for real, like it's, I don't know, the whole album is just, oh man, the Kill Jay-Z thing. That's what they teach you in therapy. It's like forget everything you know. You have to tear it all down and build it all up again. And he does it in the first song of the album. Like you immediately know where this is going.
Yeah.
And every single song through the whole duration of the album, like the second song, Story of OJ, that's the first one I showed you.
Right.
That one bangs. That one he's talking about money. He's talking about how blacks need to own their own stuff, and you know, don't die over the neighborhood your mama's renting, which I think is a great line. You know, directed at a bunch of kids in the States who are in gangs and risking their lives over a neighborhood that doesn't even belong to their family. Their parents are renting it from white people.
Right.
You know, it's crazy, but nobody's ever broke it down like that before. You know?
Yeah, that's deep.
He's the ultimate person to relay that message as well.
Yeah. And even when he brags on this album, it's like, it's in a good way.
Right.
You know, on the Story of OJ, when he's like, I bought some artwork for $1 million.
It's so funny too when you look at it too. His evolution is that when he started out, you know, he had the big chains and all that. It's the more money he made, the less jewelry he wore.
Yeah, because he started to buy shit like artwork. Yeah, because that's what he says in the album. He says, I bought some artwork for $1 million. 2 years later, that shit worth $2 million. 3 years later, that shit worth $8 million. I can't wait to give this shit to my children. That's what he says.
Oh.
That's crazy.
Oh.
That's like, nobody's ever talked about this kind of stuff in rap before. Nobody's ever been in his position and put out an album where they were actually talking about real shit and not just making pop bullshit.
See, that's funny. Like, you know, when people talk about, you know, bragging about, you know, being rich and whatever, I don't imagine this being wholesome, but, you know, I think that's about as wholesome as a millionaire can probably get.
Hell yeah. And then the third song, Smile, which features his mom, is a song about how his mom was a lesbian and has had to hide it her whole life. And then at the end has a spoken word poem like by his mom about her hiding her sexuality, which was very cool. Wow. You know, and then you got, what do you got? You got Caught Their Eyes with Frank Ocean, which is a whole song basically about how, like, when Prince died, they sold tickets to walk through his house and how, like, disrespectful that is, and, like, you know, and how the industry is just, like, fucking over black people. It's a really powerful song. Then you got 444, the title track with about Beyonce, him cheating on Beyonce. Then you have Family Feud, which is featuring Beyonce, which is the greatest song title ever that they could have thought of for the two of them to be in a song together. Family Feud? That's the greatest.
So do you think the whole cheating thing, like, kind of spurred off the whole, like, Beyonce, Lemonade, maybe, you know, Formation, that sort of thing?
Yeah, hell yeah. And look what both of them did immediately
they turned
after
it around
that.
quite well.
Jay cheated. Beyonce went and united all the black women, and now Jay went and is uniting all the black men together.
Wow.
And that power couple, they're black royalty.
They're
doing it for real. Jay-Z's telling all black men, stop killing yourselves. He even like talks about Puff in one song on the album, talking about like how am I gonna drink anything else when Puff has Ciroc in the club? How am I not gonna support Puff? No matter what we've been through in the past, how am I not gonna support another black man getting his shit off?
Yeah,
that's crazy. You know, coming from those two.
And that's the thing. You got Diddy there too. He's actually the richest. He's the richest hip hop guy right now.
Yeah,
and he's like just doing everything, man. He got the clothing line.
Well, he's got a movie out now on Apple Music.
A movie.
Can't Stop, Won't Stop. You haven't heard of it yet? It's on Apple Music. You can watch the whole thing.
That sounds like it's gonna blow my mind.
It's a whole movie about like his rise to success. Don't you remember that video I showed you from Instagram where he's like talking on the phone?
Yeah.
And then he gets off the phone. That's from the movie.
Okay.
Like that's like a promo clip from the movie.
Apple Music, I can see it.
Yeah. So it's like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like I need to watch that today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, so this Jay album is crazy. And I think you need to listen to it. I think any of our listeners who haven't listened to it yet, if you're a fan of hip hop, if you're a fan of lyrics, if you're a fan of great beats, you know, I was talking earlier about how before this album was made, No ID, the producer, he sat down with Prince before he died.
Right.
And he asked him what he thought about the current like state of music, and he said, "Loops." That's all he said. Is loops. There's too many loops.
Oh, quick question. So what does the 444 stand for?
It's the time he woke up in the morning to make that song.
That's a pretty genius idea.
Yeah.
Just adding it to my phone now.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. So anyway, so No ID sat down with Prince before they made the album and asked him what he thought about the current state of hip hop, and Prince said loops. Yeah, too many loops. So No ID was so inspired by this when Prince died that he was going to make he wanted to make the greatest hip hop album of all time. And he knew the only person who could deliver the greatest hip hop album of all time vocally was Jay-Z.
Right.
So he had to make beats that inspired Jay-Z to basically be the greatest of all time. And that's what he tried to do on this album. And that, I think, is the craziest and most respectful endeavor in hip-hop that we've seen in recent years.
Love it.
Yep. You gotta. How could you not? And not only does he put out an insane album, he puts it out on his own platform the way he wants to.
Yeah, on his streaming service.
Yeah, like this man, oh man, you can't.
So do you think Prince would be a fan of that? Because he wasn't an internet person. Like he was, vocally against the idea of the internet. But
I think if Prince would have
with his own his streaming service.
I think Prince would have been more okay with something like Tidal because think of it this way, right? What Jay did with this album is he made the album feel like back before iTunes even, when you had to buy albums. You know why? Because there was a huge separation between the people who heard it and the people who hadn't, who really wanted to but didn't have Tidal, right? The people who are desperately trying to hear that album who didn't have Tidal. And that's what it was like when you wanted to hear an album, but you couldn't afford to go buy the CD. Jay created a demand for an album in 2017, and I have not seen anybody else do that in the internet age. He created something where it was like...
That's the thing, too. It went platinum, and that's all his money.
Yeah. Yeah, and
all his money.
Yeah, and they created something, too, where it was just like, okay... You're going to be an exclusive member and get to listen to this Jay-Z album. Right. Because originally, it wasn't even available for new subscribers to Tidal. You had to already have had Tidal for a month to be able to listen to the new Jay-Z album. Yeah, that's when it first dropped. So it was like you were the shit. You heard 444. That was like being the first guy to buy the CD when it dropped and be bumping it in the whip. Out of all your homies.
Oh, then you get to go straight and like, oh man, you get to look at him. It's the real deal.
Yeah.
It's coming.
So and he's trying to bring it back to the days where artists got money put in their pockets for music. Yeah. So he's saying, look, this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to put it out on my service and I'm going to sell. Yeah, I don't really care how he went platinum. He doesn't look like he was really bragging about it in the picture. I know that Sprint just bought 1 million copies of his album to give away for free on Tidal. Yeah. That's fine. But the fact of the matter is that Sprint still bought 1 million copies of Jay's album.
End of the day.
Huge.
He still made 100. Well, maybe not 100%, but he still made a lot of percent of that profit.
And here's the thing too. Look at the evolution. Like he started out selling mixtapes out of the back of his car.
Yeah.
And now look at what he's doing. He's still leading, the industry in different ways.
Do you know what's crazy? We sell albums out the back of my car.
Right. And now, so basically, we just need to do exactly what Jay-Z did.
Yeah. Yeah, and what Jay-Z did is achieve excellence.
Right.
Which I watched a Jay-Z documentary, and it got me real inspired because Jay-Z said, excellence is performing at a high level all the time.
Exactly.
Right? You can, he said, anyone can score a half-court shot.
Right.
That's just the luck of the draw. But to do it over and over again through 11 championships like Bill Russell is excellence.
Right.
And that's what he said. He said he believes he is excellence because he performs at a high level all the time.
Exactly.
Now, do you think this model is scalable for just like regular artists? Like, let's say because he's top dog, right? He's just kind of flaunting that.
Yeah, but the thing is, all I see from looking at Jay, it doesn't. I don't know. I can see how it could be discouraging to some people.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the fan base, though. You have to have a fan base strong enough where they're gonna go be Tidal users.
Yeah.
So
but
that's like a 20-year career.
Yeah. Oh, longer. It's
I like that bird.
Word up.
All right. Bird up.
Hold on.
Was it an English crow?
Yeah, they sound a bit different, right? More of a posh crow.
I could definitely hear the accent in that one.
The crows have accents?
They got you.
Man, there's mad types of birds out there.
There are.